Time now for the Wall Street Beat. One of my favorite parts of the year now. Izzy Englander and Ken Griffin topping Bloomberg's annual ranking of the best paid hedge fund managers. They topped it for a second straight year. But Rob Citrone, this one's an interesting one. He joined the top 10 after making $730 million for himself in 1 year. Joining us with more, Bloomberg's Tom Maloney, who knows what's under the hood of all of these funds, exactly how they're valued and what people are making. $730 million. How rare is that for a fund of this size?
It's unusual. He wasn't managing that much money at the start of the year, single billions. If you look at the top 10, most of those are really big funds managing tens of billions of dollars. At the top of the list, we had Izzy Englander at Millennium, Ken Griffin at Citadel, and Steve Cohen at .72. So those are guys with huge fortunes and huge funds, and it doesn't take a lot for them to get to the top of the list.
Just crushing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crushing it.
Life is not bad at a hedge fund these days.
Yeah. Citrone got there, though, with excellent returns, 52%, I think, at Discovery. So that's what it takes to get to the top 10.
And his fund wasn't very large, right? Last year, was it $1.5 billion?
$1.5 billion at the start of the year, that's right.
Wow.
So also Josh Resnick of Jericho. I mean, we're hearing of names that have not been on this list before. What brought him into the list?
Again, excellent returns. So he was at 60%, which is, knocking it out of the park kind of return. He managed a little bit more. I think they're at $4.5 billion now. But yeah, again, look, just great returns for Jericho Capital and Discovery. That's how they got to the list.
So do those guys, I mean, when you put up 50%, 60% returns, does that attract a ton of money? Will Rob Citrone, for example, have, $5 billion of new money to invest next year? Or does he want to keep it small so he can continue to generate that kind of alpha?
That's a really good question. I mean, look, I think the issue with Citrone is 2 years ago, they came off quite a bad year. Last year, they made most of that money back. And then this year, he's had some fantastic returns. I think that volatility does scare off some investors. When you look at like Citadel and Millennium and .72, they're just really consistently generating those kind of low double-digit or mid double-digit returns, and that's really attractive.
I think it's one really interesting thing, Katie, here. It shows you bigger is not always better. Kind of exciting thing for the hedge fund industry. And also, the talent war is alive and well. People are making money, again, big time in hedge funds.